States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for invocation. John Primish, First Counselor in the Bishopric of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Our Father in heaven, we are so grateful for all that we have to live in this country with all the freedoms that we enjoy, especially to live in this town of Fountain Hills with its beauty, and for the wonderful citizens that live here. We're grateful for the town council and their service to the community and those citizens who are here tonight to discuss the issues and have an interest in what transpires in our town. We ask that I will bless the council, that they might make correct decisions, that they might discuss the matters that are important to the town, and that those decisions might be made in the best interests of the town and the community together. And these things we pray for in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, John. Roll call, please, Bev.
Mayor Kavanaugh?
Here.
Vice Mayor Yates?
Present.
Councilmember DePorter?
Here.
Councilmember Brown?
Here.
Councilmember Hanson? Here. Councilmember Magazine? Here. Councilmember Lachey?
Here.
Okay, going to my economic development report. I attended a special presentation by the Soul River Maricopa Indian community to introduce us to their many tourism enterprises. The Soul River community has established an entertainment district with a new added attraction to start construction soon of an aquarium. With this focus on tourism by our neighbors, Fountain Hills is sure to gain by the number of visitors there. At the MAG Regional Council meeting, there was an update on our Commerce office in Mexico City. There was also a follow-up on a lawsuit against MAG by the Arizona Center for Law in the Public Interest. And I'll give you just a short version of what's going on. When we had that gigantic dust storm, MAG had to submit reports to the EPA to convince them that it was nature and not man that caused it. Finally, after about a 2-foot-high stack of reports, the EPA gave us a pass on it. But this Arizona Center for Law in the Public Interest doesn't like that the EPA gave us a pass, and so they're suing us. Just proves that anyone can sue for anything they don't like. Chris Camacho is the new director of GPEC. Our meeting covered some new direction from GPEC. Once again, more small community involvement, which is good for us. More emphasis on science and technology, but a step away from their China efforts and solar. I attended both the MAG Regional and Economic Development meetings. We heard a presentation by Michael Crow, the head of ASU, concerning Arizona and an alarming trend of students here not going on to higher education. We also had a special guest, the mayor of Hermosillo, Mexico. Hermosillo is the sister city with Phoenix, and increased trade and tourism was the emphasis of the presentation. Thanks, and that's my economic development report for today. And now we will go on to call to the public. I believe we have
Mayor, we have one speaker, Chuck Herman.
Mayor, members of the council, I really appreciate an opportunity to be here tonight, and I'm not here because I think this is really a great idea for me to be here, but because I think this subject should be kept in the light here. And I really shouldn't be taking your time tonight because I'm talking about a problem we already know is a problem, and we already know it should be more seriously addressed than it has been. 3 years ago, I spoke to you about the increasing number of coots fouling the Fountain Park. It's gotten much worse. The number of coots has roughly doubled, I estimate. It's now close to 500 instead of 250. The number of coots has doubled. The cleanup costs for the city require more money to be spent. The workers still can't keep the walks clean, and the children play on lawns fouled with coot feces. What a neat situation. If you walk in the park, you know it's a real problem. Okay, there's been more than enough talk. So if you wanted to, what could you do to improve things, at least as a start? I just have three simple, very simple ideas. You could ask that one single phrase be added to the Arizona state statutes, quote, except in municipal parks. That would make it unlawful under state law to feed the birds, and it might at least slow down the increase. Secondly, you could have a low fence installed, low and simple and low cost, along the water's edge that would make it more difficult for the coots to go in or out of the water. This was suggested to me by the Arizona Wildlife Commission. Or you could just do one section along the lake's edge and see if that reduces the coots in that area and maybe try it out. Third, you could at least investigate the possibility of having the 98-year-old U.S.-UK Migratory Bird Treaty amended to save our park and other parks. And it could be done so as not to interfere with the other species of some 800 birds that the Act covers. Yes, it's already been amended. Yes, it's almost 100 years old, and it should probably amend it more. Now, I would hope that you people have more ideas than this and better ideas than I've quickly presented here. There's been enough talk, and in conclusion, I cannot understand why you cannot at least do something. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thank you. Go on to our consent agenda items. We have 13 of them. Can I get a motion to accept all 13
So
as
moved.
listed?
Mayor, second.
And a roll call, please.
Councilmember DePorter?
Aye.
Councilmember Magazine?
Aye.
Councilmember Lachey?
Aye.
Councilmember Hanson? Aye. Vice Mayor Yates?
Aye.
Councilmember Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Kavanaugh?
Aye.
Mayor, 7-0.
Going on to our regular agenda items, we have one staff report for items, excuse me,
Due to a possible conflict of interest for items 14 through 18, I will not be participating or voting on those issues.
all right, thank you for letting us know. You don't have to leave.
That's okay.
Not too many chances, huh?
She's going to the bar.
She's going. Okay, one staff report for items 14 to 18. Each item requires a separate motion. That's for the council to know. And looks like Bob is going to start us off.
Thank you, Mayor. As you said, there's 5 items on the agenda tonight. Normally, they would be on your consent agenda. However, due to the interest and the size of the project, we slid it over to the regular just so we could let everybody know what's going on out there. Eagle Ridge North final plat was approved in 2001. This plat will need to be abandoned as part of the Adero Canyon approval process. Adero Canyon will effectively replace Eagle Ridge North. Likewise, as part of the Eagle Ridge North plat, Eagle Ridge Drive was previously approved and recorded as a public right-of-way. The current Eagle Ridge Drive right-of-way does not coincide with the proposed Adero Canyon location of the right-of-way. So the old one needs to be abandoned. This slide shows the existing right-of-way in gray and the new roadway right-of-way in red. You're being asked to approve the Adero Canyon final master plat, which creates 11 parcels labeled 1 through 10 and parcel 10A. It also creates a new Eagle Ridge Drive right-of-way location. You're also being asked to approve parcel 1 final plat, which contains 30 semi-custom house lots, open space tracts, various utility easements, and a local roadway, all of which are consistent with the parcel 1 boundaries established in the master plat. Also, the parcel 7 final plat, which contains 31 semi-custom house lots, open space tracts, various utility easements, local roadways. Again, they're all consistent with parcel 7 boundaries as established by the master plat. Staff recommends approval of the Eagle Ridge North Master Plat abandonment and the Eagle Ridge Drive right-of-way abandonment. And we recommend approval of the Adero Canyon Final Master Plat, the Parcel 1 Final Plat, and the Parcel 7 Final Plat, as described and subject to the stipulations in your staff report. That concludes my presentation.
All right, thank you, Bob. Questions from council? Any questions? Can I get a motion?
Move to approve Resolution 2015-03, the abandonment of Eagle Ridge Drive right-of-way as presented.
Second.
Any speaker cards?
No, Mayor.
All right, any other discussion? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mayor, 6-0.
Thank you. Consideration of Resolution 2015-03, exchanging certain public roadway location within the town.
Mayor. We just had the vote on that one. We need to go back to
15.
number 14.
You voted on 15 first?
Yep.
Oh, okay, sorry. All right, we're doing 14.
I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself.
Consider-
I move to approve the abandonment of the final plat of Eagle Ridge North as presented.
Mayor, second.
Okay, any speaker cards on that one?
No, Mayor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mayor, 6-0.
Can I do 16 now? Ready? Consideration of the Adero Canyon Final Master Plat, a 431.2-acre mixed-density residential subdivision located in Maricopa County Township 3, North, Range 6, East, Section 7, 8, and 17, case number S2014-10.
Mayor? Move to approve final master plan A431.
And a second? Any speaker cards?
No, Mayor.
Any council discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mayor, 6-0.
Thank you. Number 17, consideration of the Adero Canyon Parcel 1 Final Plat, 30-lot, single-family subdivision, case S2014-07. Any discussion? Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Mayor, second.
And any speaker cards?
No, ma'am.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mayor, 6-0.
Okay, and number 18, consideration of the Adero Canyon Parcel 7 Final Plat 31-lot, single-family subdivision, case S2014-08. Any further council discussion on this one? Any speaker cards?
No, Mayor.
Can I get a motion, please?
Mayor, so moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mayor, 6-0.
All right, now we'll go on to number 19, and this is a separate insert that was given to the council, discussion with possible direction to staff regarding adding lighting at Councilwoman Hanson.
She's coming back.
Coming back?
Oh, wait.
Oh, wait for her. Didn't have time to go anywhere, huh? All right. Discussion with possible direction to staff regarding adding lighting at the intersection of Saguaro Boulevard and Avenue of the Fountains, and authorizing staff to execute a construction change order to be paid from the downtown fund in an amount not to exceed $100,000. Paul?
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Staff was recently asked to look at providing lighting at the intersection of the Avenue of the Fountains and Saguaro Boulevard. As probably everyone's aware, Saguaro Boulevard will start construction next week. We're starting on the north end, working south. The contractor schedule has them in this area pretty much right after the art fair at the end of the month, so time is of the essence for this project. When we executed an administrative change order with Kimley Horn, who is the designer of the Saguaro Boulevard project, and we have a representative from that firm here tonight if you have any questions, to look at the intersection for lighting. What they found is there's actually illumination standards. So when you light an intersection with crosswalks, you have to meet certain illumination standards. The current lights on the north and south side of the avenue and in the pathway are fine for a pathway, but not for actually an intersection. They looked at over 15 manufacturers. They found 3 lights that would work. The other limiting factor is if we go with standard high-pressure sodium lighting, it takes more power, which we don't have. we would have to go through a full SRP design to get power to that intersection. We do have limited power available on the Avenue median to be able to use LED lights at the intersection. So they found 3 styles of LED lights that we could use. All 3 lights I'm going to show you would require 6 poles, but there's a different number of fixtures depending on what type you want to go with to provide the proper illumination. So you'd have a pole on all 4 corners, and then you'd have a pole in the center median. In order for the design firm to finish the design, we need to pick a fixture so they can do all the wiring, the foundations, so then we can give it to the contractor to provide a price. Why we're asking for a $100,000, not to exceed $100,000 change order, is because we don't think we can get that design done over to the sanitary district. They actually have a monitoring well site at the southwest corner. They have a bunch of force mains in that intersection. SRP has a big duct bank in there. So we just want to have enough just in case we encounter some underground issues. The first fixture is called the Kim curvilinear fixture. That would require 1 fixture on each pole. You could either go with the armed style or the straight up. We didn't look at the standard shoebox lighting like we have in the parking lot here or the parking lot across at the post office. This is a little bit more decorative. So this is the least number of fixture and lowest cost. Next is the ELA Craft fixture, and we couldn't really get a good picture from the manufacturer. We only have a schematic, and this would require actually 10 fixtures. So you need a pole with 2 fixtures on the park side, in the medians, and then a pole with, at a minimum, 1 fixture on the west side. And that is the most expensive option this is an engineer's estimate of $74,000. And then the third option, it's a little more modern, probably doesn't go with that intersection, but this was one that they found would actually meet the lighting requirements. And this is the Sternberg Millennia fixture, and you'd need a total of 8 fixtures. We're looking for direction if council wants us to go with one of these styles. The other option would be to at least get the underground in, and we could look at, do a little more research. They've done a lot of research, but there might be something out there that we don't know and might be able to find something different. So at a minimum, if we want to do lighting at some point now or in this project or in the future, we should really consider at least doing the underground work, because we don't want to go in and tear up the road. We'd have to bore, which gets much more expensive. So with that, I can try to answer any questions you have, or we do have a representative from the engineering firm as well.
I just have one question. After you looked at all of the issues pertaining to each one, including the cost, does the staff have a recommendation that they might want to pass along?
Personally, my recommendation would be the Kim fixture, the arm one. But I'm an engineer. I like straight lines and Nathan, one other thing to consider, and not that we have to discuss it too much now, is the one pole that's going to be in Fountain Park, that's going to be getting hit with reclaimed water. So that pole will get corroded pretty quick. 5 years, we might be at least changing the pole. So I just want to make you aware of that as well.
But that's with any of them, right?
Anything would get hit with that.
Okay. Any questions from council? Councilman Yates?
Thank you, Mayor. Paul, good job getting this together fast. Obviously, I like the price as well, but knowing that we saved a ton of money and the aesthetics, especially on Avenue, are important. I like ELA Craft, but having said that, why couldn't we just do a not to exceed? Wouldn't that give you enough time that we could still look and try to find something that would meet both criteria of price as well as aesthetics?
Mayor Kavanaugh, Vice Mayor Yates, that would be correct, but we would actually do one change order first to do the underground work. And then if we do find something that would be a little more aesthetically pleasing, if you approve the $100,000, we would do another change order we'd probably bring it back for discussion or show you, give the council some discussion of what you really want to see there. So, but it's an option, but we really have to get the underground done first.
But the ceiling wouldn't go above
Oh,
100,000, whether we do it two.
I think your worst-case scenario is going to be the ELA craft, and that's, right now, it's an engineer's estimate at 74,000, and we don't know what underground issues we might come up with. So that's why we put $100,000 on it, not to exceed.
Thank you, Mayor.
Councilman Brown?
Thank you, Mayor. So I have to agree with Paul. I like the arm style. I like the direct down opposed to the outcast of the other lights and even the classy lights, but I don't think they actually go with their town. I think that if we ever, which I hope we do, light up all of the avenue one day, because until we do, all you're going to attract for nightlife are people my age and older, and that's not what Fountain Hills wants. And I think that the downlight will give us a better coverage on the intersection, as well as give us an opportunity to light up the Avenue of the Fountains at a future date with a similar fixture.
Thank you. Anything on this side? Councilman Magazine.
Picking up on what Councilman Brown said, I guess, did you look at the spread of light for each one as to, obviously you want the light to light up what's below, not what's out. And so the radius would make a big difference, I would think.
Correct. When they do their photometrics, they look at the foot candles coming down and the spread. So they're really trying to light up just that intersection.
And so, based on that, the Kim looks to me like it would light up more what's directly under it than some of the others. Is that correct?
This is Michael Colombo with Kimley Horn.
Thank you, Council. Just to specify, it might look that way, but the design of the LED lights themselves inside the fixture have an ability to be, the light itself is angled out. So no, it doesn't shine just down. It actually has a pretty good spread. Another huge benefit of LED lights as well is that you can control where that light goes. There's, I don't remember the exact quantity, but somewhere probably about 40 to 60 LEDs in that fixture, and each one has their own little lens underneath it that can control where that light hits the ground.
Given what we're trying to accomplish, which one do you think would work the best in terms of lighting?
I think the most efficient one is this fixture. We were able to do it with the least quantity and be able to meet the illumination criteria of the national guidelines. It has the lowest energy use as well, so it's a little bit cheaper in that regard.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Hanson.
Sorry.
Along those lines, is the Kim fixture brighter? Is that why it requires fewer light fixtures than, say, the Craft?
Individually per fixture, yes. But overall, all three of them with the total quantity that we're using, the total average brightness of the intersection is essentially the same.
When I appreciate, too, that how quickly this has come back to us in such a short time frame. But when I looked at all three, I thought the Craft came so close to matching what is already on the avenue, whereas the other one appears to me more contemporary, and it just seemed like it would be a nicer effect to have the intersection kind of be the entry statement onto the avenue, and having lights that are very similar, and from a distance they would look like what is on the avenue. And I'm not generally in support of spending more than the lowest price, but in this case, after spending $1.5 million on the medians, I think we should, do something that's going to be the most aesthetically pleasing. Just my thought.
Well, is the maintenance higher on that one because we've got more light fixtures, or is it more expensive to maintain them, or doesn't?
I mean,
It doesn't matter.
eventually, the LEDs typically last a long time.
So it
If we did have a problem, there's more fixtures. Talking with Michael, really from staff's perspective, we really need to get that underground in.
Okay.
There could be an opportunity where we could ask the rep if they send out one of each of the light fixtures. We could look at them to see in person what they really look like, or we could, buy one and return one.
Okay.
But, from my standpoint, it's really getting that underground.
So you
And-
just want the okay to go ahead and do it with the underground and say that we do want the light fixtures, whatever we pick?
Correct.
And we got another chance to pick. Councilman Yates?
I was going to say just that you've done a great job getting us some information, some choices, but I'd rather you do a little bit more research and see if there's something that might match perfectly. But let's get the underground approved.
You want to make a motion for that?
Yeah, I move to approve the underground work and a budget not to exceed $100,000, but ask that staff bring back some more choices or some better pictures or examples.
All right, got a motion and a second. Any other council discussion? Any speaker cards on this one?
No, Mayor.
Nope. Okay, then all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mayor, 7-0.
All right, thank you.
We have lights at the end.
Thanks, Paul. Councilwoman Hanson's happy.
Wow.
All right, now, we have discussion with possible direction to staff related to any item in the League of Arizona Cities and Towns Weekly Legislative Bulletin or relating to any action proposed or pending before the state legislature. Okay, so there was only one that was brought up from council that he wanted to discuss, and that's the 2254. Councilman Magazine also mentioned that. That's probably the one that is going to impact Fountain Hills more than anything else. That's the one that removes residential tax from rentals, any rentals. The league is opposing this. The impact to all the cities and towns will be about $87 million. The first year would be $22 million, then $44 million, then $65 million, $87 million. Going to the meetings and listening to all the discussion, it seems that this is being misrepresented as a benefit to renters, that renters, this is a great thing because renters are going to benefit by a lower cost, but actually this is a tax not on renters, it's a tax on the landlords. So it is a tax on a business, and it is up to the landlord whether he wants to pass that savings on to the renter, and there is nothing in the bill that says the landlord must do that. As we all know, landlords can pass on whatever they want. Some give a break to renters and say, well, we'll cover all utilities. Some say, well, we'll just do your landscaping, and you sign a lease like that. Some even pay the tax. So this is, the league is fighting this. It did pass out of committee. So I do want to say that I contacted both of our representatives. Michelle Ugenti was a member of the Ways and Means Committee that passed this out, though she did vote no in favor of Fountain Hills. And I recently spoke to State Representative Jay Lawrence, and he said he would also vote no if it came to the floor, because he understands the impact that it would be to Fountain Hills. So that's my update on that one, and there are lots of others, but, they're just in the process right now. Any discussion or questions?
Mayor Kavanaugh, members of the council, I'd like to ask authorization for the town manager and town attorney to advocate against 2254 with the legislature.
Okay.
So moved.
All right, all are in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And I've already been doing that, and I'll continue to do that. And now we have any direction or discussion further, Ken, on your part?
None, Mayor.
None. Activities, I have a quick little sheet. Activities, coalition meetings, so I want to keep you up to date on that. They're off to a great start. The knowledge that the work we've been doing at the school is having an effect on reducing drug and alcohol usage among our students. I really want to thank the volunteers on the coalition who have worked with the group since its inception. MCSO is a big part of that organization. It was an honor to be invited to the Mentors Breakfast to read a proclamation naming January 2015 as Mentor Appreciation Month. There is a very large and wonderful group of town residents giving up their time to help one or more of the children in our school system. The mentor program is also now tracking these students to follow their future successes. And Coffee with a Cop was, again, a big success. Residents mingled with MCSO deputies to exchange social greetings and to discuss law enforcement issues, along with several deputies and a sergeant. Captain Lanturno was there, along with Sheriff Joe Arpaio. And the last is just that I'm in constant contact with the league, legislators, and other groups at the Capitol to keep us up on the bills being processed this session. And that's all I have. Anything that anybody wants to talk about? That side, this side?
Yes, Mayor.
Yes,
If I may.
Councilman Lejay.
Since our last council meeting, it's been a busy 2 weeks for myself, attending a series of meetings, including commission meetings. I think they did a fine job initially looking at trying to come up with some resolution for the dog park scenario that's come up. Attending ribbon cuttings as well. In addition to that, fielding, addressing, remediating many residential concerns that have come to my attention. One thing in particular with respect to residents that I'd like to just take a second on, for those of you that have contacted me or others that are interested with respect to SRP's proposed rate increases, I just want to reiterate that public input meetings, an opportunity for residents to provide their input, ask their questions, learn more, will be conducted by SRP on February 9th and 26th at 9:30 a.m. at 1 East Continental Drive in Tempe. Additionally, public input, including questions and comments, can also be submitted to SRP by calling 602-236-8888 and/or by visiting their website at srpprices.com. I believe it's important for our residents to know that SRP was unable to accommodate the town's request to present and discuss their rate increase proposal at one of our council meetings. Instead, they are encouraging our residents to attend one of their pre-planned input meetings, which I referred to earlier, which I referenced earlier. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, maybe we can have that information put on our website so that everybody will have the phone numbers, time, date, and everything, and we'll keep up on when the meetings are, if anyone wants to attend.
Mayor, if I may, I believe, I just received this in the mail. That information was sent out to our local residents within the last week that has all that information on it. But thank you.
Anything else? Anything else? No? Okay, then motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, and all in favor?